Many of us first encounter wild animals in cages. Zoos, circuses, aquariums. These are places we went to as children with our parents. What are we left with after seeing animals caged, taken out of their natural habitats? More than 20 countries have banned wild animals in circuses, and at least 10 have imposed restrictions on the captivity of orcas and dolphins. The Frost Museum of Science opened in 2017. The installations include an aquarium and several animal exhibitions. It took 5 years to build and cost more than $300 million. The museum has the latest technologies, but an educational program that uses enclosed animals may be out of date.
We do this because we are very passionate about the marine ecosystem and we want to make a difference.
Andy DeHart is the Vice President of Animal Husbandry at the Frost Museum of Science.
Why deprive sharks from their freedom in the name of education and science?
We don't want people to leave here and just think, okay, I saw these animals at the aquarium, that's it. Our hope, obviously, is that people take that feeling that they get, that inspiration that they get, they transcend that into being a scuba diver, being a snorkeler.
Later, we will see if these goals are accomplished. Madison Stewart has dedicated her life to shark conservation. Many call her Shark Girl.
I used to have an annual pass to SeaWorld when I was a kid, and now I know how messed up that is. Back then I didn't know, and I never thought anything of it until I met someone that worked there, and he became my friend, and he let me in on these sharks that so-called love their captors and are treated well. All you're teaching young kids is that it's okay to put animals in a cage. I'm sure that many people have left SeaWorld and aquariums and have been really inspired, have maybe wanted to get into marine biology, but very few people leave thinking, hey, I need to fight for this animal in the wild.
Fernando Bretos works at the museum as curator of ecology. His point of view on captivity is more practical.
Mira, no todos pueden salir al mar, eso cuesta mucho, no es para todos, pero algunos sí pueden tener la experiencia de ver un tiburón martillo de cerca. Y sí, viven encerrados y viven en condiciones que no son ideales todas, pero en el caso de los tiburones, estos animales son de la pesca comercial, son parte de la captura ya establecida y sirven para educar y para que la gente pueda ver.
I don't consider our animals stressed or under undue stress. They show signs of normal feeding behavior, they show signs of normal swimming behavior. There are clinical signs for stress for which we don't see.
But what we saw were behaviors that seemed to show the opposite.
See, that is not normal behavior. I've never seen a tiger shark do anything like this in the wild. Anything like that you don't see in the wild is not normal behavior.
After production, we contacted the museum to see if they could provide an explanation of this behavior. We also asked them what plans they had in place as the animals grew bigger. The museum responded that they would have to pass on answering these questions and provided us with no further information. I was struck by the fact that they had nothing to say about the possible suffering of an animal in their care. Professor Randall Lockwood has studied the relationship between human beings and animals for over 40 years. He is the current Senior Vice President for Forensic Sciences and Anti-Cruelty Projects with the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals.
There's a large amount of research on how to enrich the lives of animals in captivity, be they marine mammals or large carnivores. And the reality is that even the most enriched environment in a captive environment is still something that a wildlife biologist would characterize as impoverished. And that's where a lot of the challenge comes in. I think we've overestimated the value of simply letting children see animals in captivity. The argument's always made as well, it will increase their interest. They need to see the animal and then maybe they'll become advocates. We often see people using the term, this animal is an ambassador for its species.
Representatives of the museum argue for the exhibition of animals.
So, certainly my viewpoint and our viewpoint is that these are ambassadors for their species.
Madison believes it is necessary to question the educational methods we use to teach future generations about our relationship with other living beings.
This is like false education. This is like everything else that's wrong with society is we teach kids the wrong things all the time. We teach kids to eat animals without questioning where they come from, to use resources without questioning how many there are, and now we teach them to put things in tanks so we can look at them.
These are the results that Dr. Lockwood has found.
There's very little evidence that it actually has that kind of impact. Most of the studies that are done on the impact of this kind of stuff show perhaps a little bit of increase in knowledge, but not necessarily action that is going to help protect environments that are going to deal with some of the major issues.
The human-animal relationship is changing.
Well, 10 years ago, everybody loved SeaWorld for taking care of their dolphins, and now we know better. It's only going to be a matter of time before people start to know better, and I'm sure that information is just waiting to come out.
Wouldn't you agree that it would be a great mission to stop shark fishing altogether?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even to bring them to have them on display in these places?
If that's what it means, sure.
The debate on animals in captivity has new relevance. Defenders say they are educating the public, but for critics, it looks more like exploitation. At least 14 countries have imposed restrictions on orcas and dolphins in captivity. Our relationship with animals is changing. Will zoos disappear? Will we know animals through technology or by visiting them in their natural habitat? Or will we continue visiting them in captivity? Years ago, these questions were idealistic. Today, they are urgent and very real.